Hello and welcome back to the channel, and this is the tutorial for this, which I call the Man in the Machine. It's basically just a, robot kind of guy. So this is a 24 by 24 grid, and I have the crease pattern right here. It is flipped due to the angle I'm filming at. If I have it this, then you should have it like this. Okay. This is a 24 by 24 grid design. And, so basically, first we're going to do a pre-creasing. This actually uses the same legs as the warrior armor. So we're going to do that. So start from the bottom diagonal, bottom corner, and pre-crease up 7 units. Okay. Now you're going to pre-crease down 2 units, and then up another 2 units, and then finally down 1. And then going from the other side, you're going to do basically the same thing on the other side. It may be easier to start from the middle though, which is 7, 2, 2 down, and then 2 up, and then 1. There, you should have something like that. Now for the upper body pre-creasing. Take one of the points at the top of the 7 unit, and then go up 2 units from that point, and start pre-creasing up to the left. Like that. Pre-crease this way 4 units. And then back up to the right 4 units. Now do 4 units up and 4 units up the other direction on this other side. So you have a 4-unit square. Now at the top of that square, pre-crease that diagonal going from the upper corner to the top of that square. And then you're going to take the other direction. So you make an X. And then you're basically just going to pre-crease all the way to the top. Now do the same thing on the other side. Count up 2 units from the top of the 7 and unit pre-crease. And then do over 4. And then back up and over 4. And then repeat that on the other side. So you have a 4-unit diamond. And then take that corner diagonal and pre-crease all the way down to where it meets that square. And then take the other direction so you have a big X and pre-crease all the way to the top. With this pre-crease on the other side, you should have a 2-unit X connected to the big squares. Now for the collapse. We're actually going to start on the mountain side. And we're basically just going to Elias stretch the bottom, which means collapsing in the corners based on our pre-crease. And we're basically just going to do that all the way around, except for where this X is at the top middle. Leave that kind of bare. Just start Elias stretching. And then once you get to the top and you've stretched everywhere else, take this 1 unit diagonal edge of the X, the top corner, and then mount and fold both angles adjacent to that, like that. Then fold that down. And then fold down the other side like that. And then following this X, make a kind of water bomb shaped fold. Now keep Elias stretching the edges until you run into one of the places where the points converge. And for this side, which is the right middle, the side of the 2 unit diamonds, it's going to be one like this with a mountain fold cutting through. And those points will be valley folds. And then stop at the middle 2 mountain folds. And then just collapse this top area in with various sinks. Now do this on the other side in the exact same way. Stretch it until you get to this edge. Mountain fold that. And go until you hit that 2 edges. Mountain folds in the center. And then just sink in that isolated area along the pre-creases. Now for the legs, we're going to do this the exact same way as the warrior armor. Elias stretched the corners in, making note of this mountain and as a barrier until you reach the convergence of the two unit pre-creases. These are going to be another mountain fold along there. And then you can finish collapsing that isolated hit area. Yeah, by the way, the paper I'm using is a normal origami paper, Kami. Once you're done collapsing the isolated section, collapse again on the other side. So we can just gonna repeat this. This is a symmetrical model, so you're basically just gonna repeat most things on the other side. And then for this middle bit, you're gonna have, it's a bit difficult to collapse, but you're gonna have this one point sticking out in the middle. That's kind of hard to collapse. So just going by the pre-creases, you're gonna have this 1 unit flap in the middle. Right there. And then that's basically the collapsed base, but take this flap down here and spread, just basically similar to spread squashing it by opening it and squashing it down until it has something like that. Then you're going to unwrap it, and along those crease lines, you're going to see a bunch of these 1-unit diamonds. And you're just going to do this. I'm not sure what it's called, but you're going to mountain fold along those diamonds. To make something like that. These are the same legs as the warrior armor. So if you've done that, you know what we're doing. And then just collapse the rest of the base down. And that's basically the completed base. Pun not intended. But, you're actually going to do one more thing. These are actually going to go where the arms are now, sticking up behind the back. So you're actually going to take one side and then swivel the arm down while folding this like smokestack thing up. The back should look like this and the front should look like this. Now repeat that on the other side. Swivel it out. And now you have the completed base. Now, for the first bit of the dry shaping, I'm going to take this middle 4-unit flap, and we're actually going to push it out and squash it to make the chest. And now for the head, we're going to take, from including this water bomb base at the top, 3 units down on this side, fold it down, or on the other side, other than this structure, 1 unit away, so like that. And then you're going to push this top bit in and bring the things together to make kind of like horns or something. I don't know what I was going for. But now for the arms, which is pretty easy, you're just going to open the end flap up and just squash it down to make hands. Repeat that on the other side and the hand dry shaping is done. And now for one of the hardest parts of this, the legs. You're going to take the topmost flap, open it, and set this to the side at the top like that. Then you're going to squash this edge down, and you're going to fold it up as far as it will go. Make something like that. Now pull out the next flap and lay it flush with the previous one at the top, and then spread sink at the bottom, or spread squash. Now you're basically going to repeat that once more, but for the topmost flap. That's one of the legs dry shaped. And now for the hip armor, or like the knee, I don't know. Take this flap just above the leg, open it up, and kind of squash it like you did the chest. That makes something like that. And then do the exact same leg steps on the other side, opening out that first layer, then squashing that top flap and folding it up, and then opening the second layer, spread squashing it, and putting it flush with the top, and then the third layer. the exact same thing. And now that's the basic structure done. I'm not going to show you how to, like, yeah, I'm going to squash that. But that's that's the basic structure done. This is just a posing idea. Also, I designed it with, like, kind of a gaunt look in mind, where it's, like, leaning over with its hand posed there. But that's the end of the tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed it. It may not look very good, but it's just a robot. But for the model showcase, I've decided that for most videos I'm going to try to do a model showcase where I show off a cooler model that will not have a tutorial, and I will actually go get that model right now. This is the tree snake, and this is both inspired by and uses a similar structure to Camiro's snake. His looks much better though, but it is a natural color change. I did not paint this. But yeah, this is one 20-inch double tissue sheet. And it's the tree snake. Oh yeah, one thing before I go. This was inspired by Origami by Boyce, but I feel like I've mentioned him too many times in the description. So I'm gonna let him rest for now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have fun folding.